Narcissistic gaslighting. These two words reflect a dangerous and damaging form of manipulation. It's a serious issue that impacts countless lives. This exploration aims to shed light on this destructive behavior. We'll uncover the tactics used and the devastating impact on victims. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation. The abuser makes the victim doubt their sanity and perception of reality. It's about control. It's about making the victim question their own thoughts and feelings. The abuser wants to maintain power and dominance. Narcissists are masters of manipulation. They crave admiration and lack empathy. They use gaslighting to maintain their sense of superiority. They'll twist situations, deny reality, and shift blame. Their goal is to keep the victim off balance and under their control. This exploration is about empowering you. We'll provide you with the knowledge to identify narcissistic gaslighting. We'll equip you with the tools to protect yourself. This journey is about understanding, awareness, and ultimately healing. Gaslighting is not a new phenomenon. However, it has gained significant attention in recent years. This increased awareness is crucial. It allows us to identify and address this harmful behavior. We live in a society where manipulation often goes unnoticed. The internet and social media can exacerbate these issues. Narcissists can use these platforms to control and manipulate their victims. They create a false narrative and isolate their victims. It's vital to understand that gaslighting can occur in any relationship. It can happen between romantic partners, family members, friends, or even colleagues. Recognizing the signs is crucial to protecting ourselves and others. The first step towards change is awareness. By understanding narcissistic gaslighting, we can start to dismantle its power. This journey is about reclaiming our reality, our truth, and our lives. Narcissistic gaslighting is a subtle and insidious form of manipulation. It's a calculated assault on the victim's perception of reality. It's about breaking down their confidence and self-worth. Narcissists use a variety of tactics to achieve this. These tactics are often subtle and difficult to detect. One common tactic is denial. The narcissist will flatly deny events or conversations. They'll make the victim question their own memory. They might say things like, "That never happened," or "You're imagining things." This can be incredibly disorienting for the victim. Another tactic is projection. The narcissist projects their own flaws and insecurities onto the victim. They accuse the victim of the very things they're guilty of. For example, a narcissist who is cheating might accuse their partner of infidelity. These tactics are designed to make the victim doubt themselves. The narcissist wants the victim to feel insecure and dependent. They want to maintain control over the relationship. It's about power and manipulation. Gaslighting is a gradual process. It often starts subtly. The narcissist might make a few snide comments or question the victim's memory. Over time, these tactics escalate. The victim becomes increasingly confused and unsure of themselves. The narcissist will often isolate the victim from their support system. They'll discourage them from spending time with friends and family. This isolation makes the victim more vulnerable to the narcissist's manipulation. They have no one to validate their experiences. The narcissist might also use love bombing. They'll shower the victim with affection and attention, only to withdraw it later. This creates an addictive cycle. The victim craves the narcissist's approval and attention. This makes them more likely to tolerate the abuse. Gaslighting can have a devastating impact on the victim's mental health. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and even post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. It's crucial to recognize the signs of gaslighting and seek help if you're experiencing it. Narcissistic gaslighting chips away at the victim's sense of self. It's a gradual erosion of their confidence, their beliefs, and their perception of reality. The victim starts to question everything they thought they knew about themselves and the world around them. This constant self-doubt can be incredibly damaging. The narcissist's words and actions create a distorted reality. The victim is told they're too sensitive, too demanding, or imagining things. Over time, these messages take root. The victim starts to internalize the narcissist's version of events. They begin to doubt their own sanity. This erosion of self-worth is one of the most insidious aspects of gaslighting. The victim loses their voice, their strength, and their sense of identity. They become a shadow of their former selves, controlled and manipulated by the narcissist. It's essential to understand that this is not the victim's fault. The narcissist is a master manipulator, skilled at twisting reality to suit their needs. The victim is not weak or flawed, they're simply caught in a web of abuse. Isolation is a key tactic in narcissistic gaslighting. The narcissist wants to isolate the victim from their support system, making them more dependent and vulnerable. They might discourage the victim from seeing friends and family, or sabotage their relationships. This isolation serves several purposes. It prevents the victim from getting validation from others. It makes it harder for them to seek help. And it reinforces the narcissist's control over the victim's life. The victim becomes increasingly reliant on the narcissist, both emotionally and practically. This isolation can take many forms. It might be physical, emotional, or even financial. The narcissist might control the victim's finances, limiting their independence. They might constantly monitor their phone calls and emails, controlling their communication. The impact of this isolation can be devastating. The victim feels trapped, alone, and unable to escape. They lose their sense of connection with the outside world, their support network, and ultimately, themselves. It's crucial to recognize that narcissistic gaslighting is a form of abuse. It leaves deep emotional scars and can have long-lasting effects on the victim's mental health. The trauma of gaslighting can manifest in various ways, such as anxiety, depression, PTSD, and even physical symptoms like insomnia or digestive issues. The first step towards healing is acknowledging the abuse. Victims often blame themselves for the situation, questioning their own sanity and judgment. It's important to remember that the narcissist is responsible for their actions. It's not the victim's fault that they were targeted and manipulated. Seeking professional help is essential for healing from narcissistic gaslighting. A therapist can provide a safe and supportive space for victims to process their experiences, understand the dynamics of abuse, and develop coping mechanisms. They can also help victims rebuild their self-esteem and regain their sense of agency. Remember, healing is a journey, not a destination. It takes time, courage, and self-compassion to recover from the trauma of narcissistic gaslighting. Breaking free from the clutches of narcissistic gaslighting demands a courageous act of reclaiming your reality. It's about dismantling the distorted narratives that have been woven around you and rediscovering the truth of your own experiences. This journey begins with a firm resolve to trust your instincts and a commitment to prioritize your well-being. Start by acknowledging the gaslighting tactics employed against you. Recognize the patterns of denial, projection, and manipulation that have become ingrained in the fabric of the relationship. By identifying these tactics, you begin to disentangle yourself from the web of confusion and doubt. Document instances of gaslighting. Keep a journal or notes on your phone to record specific examples of conversations, events, or behaviors that left you feeling confused, invalidated, or questioning your sanity. This record serves as a tangible reminder of the gaslighting tactics used against you, helping you to separate fact from fiction. Remember, your feelings are valid. Don't allow the gaslighter to minimize or dismiss your emotions. Trust your intuition and acknowledge the impact their behavior has had on your mental and emotional well-being. Your experiences are real, and it's essential to honor and validate them as you embark on the path to recovery. Protecting yourself from the insidious effects of narcissistic gaslighting requires building a fortress of self-protection, fortified by healthy boundaries, assertiveness, and a commitment to prioritize your well-being above all else. It's about reclaiming your power and refusing to be a passive recipient of manipulation. Setting clear boundaries is paramount. Communicate your limits and expectations to the gaslighter firmly and consistently. This might involve defining what topics are off limits, refusing to engage in circular arguments, or limiting contact if necessary. Remember, you have the right to protect your emotional and mental space. Learn to assert yourself. Don't be afraid to express your needs, opinions, and feelings calmly and confidently. Use I statements to communicate your perspective without blaming or attacking the gaslighter. For instance, instead of saying "you're always wrong," try "I see things differently," or "I disagree with that statement." Practice self-care relentlessly. Engage in activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. This might include spending time in nature, pursuing hobbies, practicing mindfulness or meditation, or seeking solace in creative expression. By prioritizing your well-being, you strengthen your resilience and capacity to navigate challenging situations. Healing from the wounds inflicted by narcissistic gaslighting is a journey that requires courage, self-compassion, and a strong support system. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. Reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Consider seeking professional guidance from a therapist or counselor specializing in narcissistic abuse. A skilled therapist can provide a safe and supportive space to process your experiences, gain insights into the dynamics of gaslighting, and develop healthy coping mechanisms for managing the emotional aftermath. Connect with trusted friends, family members, or support groups. Surround yourself with individuals who validate your experiences, offer unconditional love and support, and empower you to prioritize your well-being. Sharing your story with those who care can alleviate feelings of isolation and provide a sense of belonging. Remember, healing is not linear. There will be good days and challenging days. Be kind to yourself throughout the process. Practice self-compassion and celebrate the small victories along the way. With time, support, and self-love, you can break free from the grip of gaslighting and reclaim your sense of self-worth and agency. In this section, titled Real Life Reflections, Unmasking the Shadows, we delve into the devastating effects of narcissistic gaslighting. Understanding these impacts becomes even more impactful when we hear real-life stories. These experiences put a human face on this form of abuse, highlighting the insidious nature of manipulation and its profound impact on victims. Let's consider the story of Sarah. She was in a relationship with a charming and charismatic man who initially swept her off her feet. However, over time, she noticed subtle changes in his behavior. He would deny things he had said, make her question her memory, and belittle her feelings. He would tell her she was overreacting or being too sensitive. As time went on, the gaslighting intensified. He isolated her from her friends and family, making her more dependent on him. He would constantly criticize her appearance, her intelligence, and her worth. Sarah began to doubt herself, her perception of reality, and her sanity. Sarah's story is not unique. It's a stark reminder of how easily someone can fall victim to narcissistic gaslighting. The abuser's tactics are often subtle and insidious, making it difficult for the victim to recognize the abuse for what it is. Section 2. The Gaslighting Partner, a Case Study. To further illustrate the dynamics of narcissistic gaslighting, let's delve into a case study involving a couple, Mark and Emily. Mark, a successful businessman, exhibited classic narcissistic traits, including a grandiose sense of self-importance, a constant need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. Emily, a talented artist, was initially drawn to Mark's confidence and charm. Early in their relationship, Mark would shower Emily with praise and attention, making her feel like she was the center of his world. However, as time went on, his behavior shifted. He became increasingly critical of her artwork, dismissing her creative endeavors as insignificant. Mark would deny making hurtful comments, accusing Emily of being overly sensitive or misinterpreting his words. He would downplay her accomplishments and highlight his own successes, creating a narrative where he was always superior. Emily began to question her talent, her worth, and her sanity. The gaslighting extended to other aspects of their relationship. Mark would frequently change plans at the last minute, leaving Emily feeling frustrated and unimportant. He would then deny that he had made any commitments, gaslighting her into believing that she was mistaken. This constant manipulation chipped away at Emily's self-esteem and her trust in her own perceptions. Section 1. Unmasking the Shadows, a Call to Awareness. Narcissistic gaslighting thrives in the shadows, its insidious nature often disguised as love, concern, or even humor. By shining a light on this destructive behavior, we take the first step towards protecting ourselves and others from its devastating effects. Understanding the tactics, recognizing the signs, and acknowledging the impact are crucial steps in combating this form of abuse. Throughout this exploration, we've delved into the depths of narcissistic gaslighting, uncovering the manipulative strategies employed, the profound impact on victims' mental health, and the importance of seeking support and validation. We've learned that gaslighting is not a sign of love or a misunderstanding. It's a calculated attempt to control and dominate another person, eroding their sense of self and reality. Remember, you are not alone. Gaslighting is a pervasive issue that affects countless individuals across all walks of life. By raising awareness, we create a safer and more supportive environment for those who have been impacted by this insidious form of abuse. Let us continue to educate ourselves and others about the dangers of narcissistic gaslighting, fostering a culture of empathy, respect, and healthy relationships. Section 2. Empowering yourself. Steps towards healing. Breaking free from the grip of narcissistic gaslighting requires courage, self-compassion, and a commitment to prioritize your well-being above all else. It's about reclaiming your power, rebuilding your self-esteem, and rediscovering the strength and resilience that reside within you. Remember, healing is not a destination, it's a journey. There will be ups and downs, moments of doubt, and setbacks along the way. Be kind to yourself throughout the process. Celebrate the small victories, acknowledge your strength, and allow yourself the time and space to heal at your own pace. Implement the strategies we've discussed. Set firm boundaries, practice assertive communication, engage in self-care activities that nourish your soul, and seek support from trusted individuals or professionals. Remember, you deserve to live a life free from manipulation and abuse. By taking these empowering steps, you embark on a path towards healing, self-discovery, and the creation of healthy, fulfilling relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and genuine connection. Section 3. Breaking the silence. Building a supportive community. Combating narcissistic gaslighting extends beyond individual healing. It requires a collective effort to break the silence, challenge societal norms, and create a supportive community where victims feel seen, heard, and empowered. Together, we can dismantle the structures that allow this form of abuse to thrive. Share your story if you feel comfortable doing so. By speaking our truths, we not only empower ourselves but also give others the courage to do the same. Your voice matters, and your experiences can help raise awareness, validate the experiences of others, and inspire hope for healing. Support organizations and initiatives dedicated to combating domestic violence and abuse. These organizations provide invaluable resources, support groups, and advocacy for victims. Your contributions, whether through volunteering, donations, or simply spreading awareness, can make a significant difference in the lives of those affected by gaslighting. Together, let us create a world where narcissistic gaslighting is not tolerated, where victims are believed and supported, and where healthy, respectful relationships are the norm.